Hey Clara, thanks for hopping on this quick call with me. Can you please, for everyone who's watching, introduce yourself a little bit? Who are you? Where are you from? And what were you doing before joining the program?
Sure. Hi.
Hey.
I'm Clara. I'm from the UK, and before I joined LLMP, I was running my own EV Motorsport company, so doing rallies and motoring events, but for zero carbon cars,
Mhm.
predominantly electric vehicles. And I realized there was a huge gap in my own marketing, and so sort of did a bit of research as to how I might, as a control freak, do that myself. So there you
Yeah.
go.
Okay. So was that the first reason why you joined LLMP? So you could use the marketing skills for your own business?
Yes, and then discovered that actually there was more to it than that. Potentially for me to branch out and gain more from it than just working on my own company,
Yeah.
which of course is an offshoot of it. I understand now a lot more about the back end of my own site that wasn't
Mm.
doing very well, but also doing this work for other companies, other individuals. So yeah, but that was the original plan. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. The best of both worlds. Cool.
Yeah, I
So,
love it.
what would you say was like the most valuable part of the program for you?
Well, there's lots of things, but I would say for me the two elements that have really, actually three elements that have really stuck out, is the use of the Discord channel and the one-on-one coaching that comes with that throughout the course. It's invaluable, and immediate. So if you're stuck on something, it's fantastic to have not only a direct response from people who know, but also people who are discovering and learning for
Mm.
themselves and other things that they've found out. And
Yeah.
so, and reading and watching questions and answers. And so that process, I think, is really, because you're traveling the journey together. And then the
Mm.
third would be the accountability partners. I think it's
Yeah.
genius and a very
Mhm.
clever addition to the course. And you know, certainly for me, I'm coming to the end of the course, and we've become great friends, and we were of a similar sort of mindset and
Mm.
age and level at our sort of professional lives. And it's really helpful to just have somebody to travel with on the journey, I
Mm.
think, and to kind of
Yeah.
sound
They
things
kind of
off and
to
yeah, to
understand
practice
like
with.
what you're going through. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
So,
and to practice the skills
yeah.
exchange. We weren't very good at it because both of us struggled tremendously with Upwork, but we're not giving up. We're going to keep going. But yeah,
Oh, that's how you learn, right?
yeah,
You
yeah,
suck a little bit in the beginning, you make a few mistakes, and that's how you get better.
yeah.
Nice. So, what would you say is your biggest accomplishments since joining?
Um, Actually developing some design skills.
Mm.
In terms of copywriting, I was always fairly sort of okay. Okay, but I've I've discovered that actually creatively I've got a bit of an eye, and I can do
Mm.
things. And again, because of learning by doing, which is definitely the way I learn, um, I've sort of just struggled through things and not known how to do something, and then sort of looked it up or gone back
Mm.
into the skills vault, or found something specific or asked a question and got an answer and then worked it out and just processed it. And I've really enjoyed that, and I think that's probably my biggest accomplishment, because I've never done anything like it. I've always gone, how do
Yeah.
people create those things? And yeah, so I'm really happy with some of the stuff I've done, moving beyond sort of templates and provided imagery. I've started to create design myself, and I'm really happy with that too. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a big win. And can you tell us a little bit about the client that you're currently working with?
Yes, which has morphed in the last week, but potentially for the better. It's a company I used to work for. I was the head of a department there, and they've got many departments. My particular one was dance. They are a performing arts organization. They've been around for 14 years, and they teach adult courses in everything across the board, from writing, photography, filmmaking, acting, screen acting, dance. Um, and they asked me to take over the social media for a very specific course, which was a 1-year professional ballet course, um, which has then led to them bringing me back into the company as a sort of strategic planner to oversee the whole company's kind of the landscape of the company and where they sit in the world, what they want to do, where they want to be, how they want to achieve that, what courses to create, and then therefore, and part of my strategic planning submission was that each department should have its own independent social media setup, which would then mean establishing a brand voice for each of the departments that fits in with the company's brand. So it's become this sort of strategic thing that I had no.
Did you already talk about that with them?
Yeah, a little bit. So so I'm doing the strategic sort of landscape planning, and then hopefully it will lead into sort of overseeing that department, which is better for me, I think. Hopefully I'm thinking I might be able to bring in some people from the LNP course, or to do some of in those areas, if it's acting or drawing or writing. If they have a specific interest in their niches, I'll keep up with the in the Discord channel and sort of see if people are looking to do work along those lines. So it's kind of like I don't know where it's going to go, but yeah.
Nice opportunities for everyone.
Great.
Cool.
We hope. Yeah. It's very much early days, but it's good.
Yeah, it's exciting. So before joining the program, like, what were your thoughts about investing into it? And was there anything in specific that made you decide to like jump in anyways?
Yeah, I mean, I think like most people, I was probably concerned about spending money on something, and I appreciate the sort of no refund. It makes a lot of sense to me. It's a mindset that I think I appreciated, but it's still, it's a chunk of change and a time commitment that at the time I didn't have really either of. So it was a conscious decision, and I think what really switched that switch for me from sort of indecision to deciding to do it was the calls that I had. So I had one with you and one with Linda to begin with, to discuss the program and to watch the videos and to read the testimonials and to learn a little bit about the program and to have insight as to the process that happens and to see everything that it contains, the resources that you have. So it felt it didn't feel it was a very believable, legitimate course. And, I think that really sort of swayed me. There was no kind of doubt in my mind that it was, forgive me, but it wasn't a scam. It didn't come across as any way like that it really was a solid thing, and that there were, whether it suited me specifically in terms of setting up my company for myself, the skills one learns are invaluable. So, and you continue to learn those skills because you have access to
sure.
So it's not a massive rush. It's not pressurized. It's, great. So
all right,
that was
cool. Yeah, thank you. So, if anyone is watching this right now and they are deciding like whether or not they should join, what would you tell them?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say if they've arrived at the point of thinking about joining, then just do it. Just do it. They're obviously thinking about that, they've arrived at that position in their own lives for whatever reasons. Almost that's kind of irrelevant. They've arrived at that point. It's real. It's great. I would just say, just get on and do it. Don't second guess yourself at that point. Just do it. And I think, the fact that there is time to take it, although there is a time frame, the fact that the resources continue is really, really something that I think they should be reminded of, that there's, because people have a different pace, a different way, a different understanding sometimes of the language, of their own capabilities. There are the things that we've learned through the course of imposter syndrome and different levels of all of that. And, but I think it's invaluable for all aspects of life, and just do it. Just do it. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think that's a good point, because I think a lot of students are a little bit scared, like, oh my God, my 90 days are up. But yeah, everyone has to realize that, like, okay, yes, the one-on-one support stops at one point, but like you still have access to the community and all the training videos that we constantly update. So it's really like lifetime. It doesn't stop after the 90 days.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I
Yeah.
think that's it's a huge thing to make sure everybody's aware of it, because it's a phenomenal resource, just from a community standpoint, but also from the information, because I haven't had the time to do even a tenth of what I really wanted to do, because,
Yeah.
I'm working and life, and, there's just stuff, but I know I can get to it. And I've
Yeah.
already, I've got a list of the ones I want to do. And when I have, the time to do them, I know I'll do them, and they'll fit into where I'm at that moment. But,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
so I think it's invaluable, but yeah.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Yay.